Hello and welcome to Sessions with Judith John. You can always contact me on this WhatsApp number that's flashing on the screen 82979 70282 for any kind of discussions or clarification or to learn more. And you can also mail me at sessionswithjudithjohn@gmail.com. So welcome to this session where we are going to see the lesson The Tiger King of Class 12 CBSE. I'm so glad as an English teacher that CBSE has added this lesson and kept it through for grade 12. There's lots to learn. Unlike, you just looking at the story title, The Tiger King, what could it be? Or it would be some kind of a, small child's play. But no, it has got a lot of depth and a great message. Let's delve into the lesson to learn more about this. We go into the story, it's very essential to know about the author and why it's relevant to know about the author of the story. His name is Kalki R. Krishnamurthy, who lived between 1899 to 1954. What's so very interesting is that the story written way back before 1954 is relevant even today, always alive and active. So what's so interesting? What makes this author special? So our author, who is otherwise named Kalki, was a Tamil writer, journalist, poet, critic, and an Indian independence activist. His writings include 120 short stories, 10 novels, etc., etc. A lot what he has done. Okay, his writings were appreciated so much that the government of Tamil Nadu also issued stamps in his honor. He died very young at the age of 54 and yet created history that even today his stories are so relevant to today's society. Let's see why it's so important. We'll go ahead with this. Before we go into the actual lesson, let's just glance through the title. The title of the story means a lot. The backdrop in which the story has been created, and of course, the value or message that the story is going to give. When we create all these backup things, you know enough about the story before you actually delve into it. It helps you understand in depth and will make you confident enough to answer any kind of questions that are asked on the story. So first we saw about the author, the Tiger King, who is Kalki, and now we are going into the title, Why the Tiger King. Now it simply refers to the person, the protagonist in the story, the king who kills tigers mercilessly. No? So that's the main thing. Now, if you look at it, somewhere hints at the Project Tiger and many a times failed projects in the country. Then it also highlights the Indian superstitions. Lots of superstitious beliefs that people across the world have, but here in India, particularly pointing to the superstitious beliefs in India and poaching. In spite of all the laws that the government lays down, we still have poaching going on. So now and then you can see in the news people getting arrested for poaching. What is relevant? What was written in before 1954, which is relevant today? The same things are happening. The life of rich Indians, even this has not changed. In fact, the rich all across the world. So how all the rich people, they dominate, how they can have what they want, what they do, and how the poor actually have to suffer. Okay, so this is also an unsaid law. It is there across not only the country but the world. And the arrogance of those in power. Okay, so this story is a total satire. I'll be explaining after this what really a satire means. We'll be looking at it in detail to understand better. All those who have power, most of the time, they don't know how to use it wisely and properly for the benefit of everyone. That arrogance comes in. Although the story now here you will look at the backdrop of the story in British India, where the Indian princes enjoyed the royalty. Later, of course, it was officially also given to them that they can continue enjoying that royalty even after independence. They remained very selfish. So here we can see all political leaders in any cadre being selfish and not thinking of the benefit of all of the people of the country and not thinking of the welfare of the nation or the world at large. It's about being selfish. We can see that here with this king. Okay, and this again, it's happening even today. We can't say no. We are all seeing things around and we're part of this society and we know that it is happening. Okay, then next, and the conserving of animals. So if man wants to, uh, he can kill all the animals in spite of all the laws of environment and people preaching around that we are part of the world and no one told us that we have to dominate all the other living beings. Still we do that. Okay, till date man keeps doing just that. We put the animals in the cages because we want to walk around freely. We encroach into their areas and wipe out forests. But we want to live comfortably, so we put the animals, their lives at risk. Either kill them or for our own selfish purposes. And see, all this actually plays up a lot in the story. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that animals are being treated very badly by human beings on the whole. Very few really care about it. Okay, so let's go ahead with this. As I've said, the theme of the story or knowing everything, the backdrop, the theme, the topic that is being dealt with in the story helps you understand the story better. So let's go into more of the theme, the man-animal conflict. And just now I was talking to you about this and the attitude of humans towards animals in general. Okay, how rude we are towards animals. We are not kind to them. We think the world is only for us and not for others. Then the conceit of those who have power. Power cannot be misused. One is given power so that they will be able to do good for everybody, not only for themselves. So selfishness has to go. So the selfish attitude. So this story deals with all this, deals with the man-animal conflict, deals with the way we treat animals on the whole, deals with the kind of misuse of power, selfishness, okay, develops a sensitivity to animals and concludes drawing points on conservation. Very important. The world is not only for us. The world is for all the species that are living on the surface of the earth and for everybody. So we are only part of this. We cannot occupy everything of what belongs to the animals and birds and insects and everything around and then only we will survive. We cannot. We cannot because it has to be balanced and all other life forms also have to exist. Then this develops a sense of responsibility to save our planet. Finally, it comes to that we have to save our planet for ourselves also. In fact, if you go around, it only becomes another selfish motive that if I want to live, I have to let others live. So makes us realize the urgent need of saving animals, okay, and not talk about animals which are endangered species, animals which are extinct. So why are we talking about those animals? So everybody's presence on the earth is important. To understand the story of the Tiger King very well, we should be very clear with the use of satire and irony in English literature. Now here, very clearly, satire is humorous way of criticizing people or ideas to show that they have faults or wrong, or a piece of writing or a play that uses this style. Now here you will see this whole story of the Tiger King is a satire. So what is a satire? Instead of directly telling people, come on, this is something wrong that you are doing. Instead you create a story bring in some other characters which are not actually existing, and then through their characters, through the flaws in their characters, try to tell the people and society that this is what you are. Okay, so it is not direct criticizing. That is why it is called satire, where we can even laugh at. So this story is a satire. Now, what is the irony? What is the difference between satire and irony? We also see an irony in this story. The whole story of the Tiger King is a satire, but it has an irony. So we will see what irony is. Satire is, it's just a style of writing. You bring in a lot of humor. You want to tell others what they are doing is wrong through a humorous story or something. But irony is a figure of speech. Okay, so in irony, what happens, whatever is intended, we say exactly the opposite of it. You know? And that is why we have this irony where we want to just tell exactly the opposite. So something which was intended to have a particular result has the opposite or a very different result. We will see that also happening in this story, which is a satire. So be very clear. The story is a satire which has an irony in it. Okay. At the end of the story, you will see that. So let's go into the story. As we begin with the story, we'll go with the characters first. Very important because questions will be asked based on each of these characters, what they stand for, what they represent, why are they there, what is their role. So first of all, to begin with the Maharaja, that is the king, the Tiger King. Then we have the astrologer. He, of course, all of us know astrologer's work is to foretell what's going to happen in our lives. Okay, so the astrologer is there. Then the divan. Divan is the Hindi word for a minister. Okay, he pretends to be loyal. He is not actually loyal. He pretends to be loyal, just like many of us in life do. In today's world, we can see there's a lot of pretense. There is no genuine, nature seen in anybody. Most of us just put on and pretend. British officer. Okay, now in this, because the story is set in the pre-independent era, the British officer is also there. The hunters who accompany the king, because he is the king, he will not go alone hunting. He will have his entire team with him, all the hunters who help him. Then we have the villagers, okay, who represent the common man. Okay, we know what happens to the common man. The very term common man, it means a lot. All the people in the country. Okay, then the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper, the business attitude that he has. Of course, he's a businessman. So you will see how the shopkeeper's role also is very important. When we conclude the story or as we go into the text, we will see how all these characters attribute to the story, to the actual main story and the message that it conveys. So now we are going directly into the text. I hope all of you have your textbook open and you can keep a pencil also in hand. So important things you can keep marking as and how we go about this. So here we see the Tiger King, the chapter. Okay, we have already discussed all the rest of the things. So let's go directly into the text. So here you see the Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram. The author comes up with a very creative place which is going to be used here. The place is called Pratibandhapuram, or the entire story happens there in this story, in this place only. And the first paragraph in the story, if you see, he talks about two things. One, that the Maharaja is very rich. Next, the rich people who are more bothered about their surnames, about their titles, about how great they are. So their names are so difficult, long, to talk about their entire clan, that they belong to some mighty clan and great family and all that. Okay, so the whole first paragraph is about that. They contain a whole lot of difficult names, talks about how great he is going to be and all that. Okay, the next paragraph, there is, you can see the words. Now pay attention to the words, because 2 marks questions you can get from using these words. So Stuka bomber, what a Stuka bomber is. So if you know it, it's good. If you don't know, it's highlighted over here, you can always mark it out. All right. Or the word strategic withdrawal, what it means, or the word imperative, what it means. Okay. Or indomitable. Okay. So you can, I know I've given the meanings right away next to the words. You can easily get them there. As we move on to the story, the Tiger King is just born, okay, and so just like any other household that is, believing so much in superstitions, here again we have the astrologer coming and foretelling. The child is born, child is going to have a wonderful life, naturally, rich family, everything is going to be fine. But then there is something. What is that something? That one day the Tiger King is going to die. Now that is for, actually it is for all of us. All of us will be dying one day. But then what is so special about his death? That he is going to die at the hands of a tiger. So a tiger is going to kill him. So this is what is told about him. And so they are so surprised because the little baby, who is hardly a few days old, speaks and asks and says, see stupefaction, the word stupefaction is used. What is stupefaction? No, the condition of being unable to think clearly, usually because someone is extremely tired or bored or has taken um, drugs or something like that. Surprised, totally taken by shock. Okay, so enunciated is pronounced very clearly. Can a just born baby speak so clearly? No, but here you will see the child speaks so clearly and asks the astrologer. Okay, all that is said and done. Okay, but tell me, no, what will be the manner of the death? And they say, yes, this is how you're going to die. A tiger is going to kill you. So this little prince grew up. As he was growing, then finally what did he do? He took this up as the biggest task and most important task in his life, to kill all the tigers. If he has to live, then all the tigers have to die. So then there will be no tiger left to actually kill him. So he will live forever. So this is the whole thing. See to what extent a king, because he has power, how he can misuse his power and what he can do. So this is what he does. He takes up this as the most important task in his life, to keep killing all the tigers so that he can live. Right? So we have the rest of the story going on like this. Okay. And everyone talks about it. So this prince grows up, this young boy, the new king boy, grows up very nicely. And here again, where part 2 starts, here you can see a whole paragraph about the obsession of the Indians, the rich Indians, to learn English, to go to England and study. So even in those days, this craze was there. Go abroad and study. So the rich people who could afford, all of them made sure they sent their children abroad to study. Even now that is the condition. Our children, I mean, every parent, now it has even come down to the middle class, and everybody wants to just go abroad and study in another university. And speaking English, English has always been the elite language of the Indian society. For all those people who can speak English, they are the rich, they are the well-to-do, they are the elite society. So here we can see a whole thing about that, how this little boy, prince, had an English nanny, tutored by an Englishman, and everything English about him. And as he grows bigger, what is the task that he sets himself before? That he will kill all the tigers. This is the crux of the story. So we will be seeing what all he does. Okay. Then the astrologer again comes up with something else and says, you may kill 99 tigers, but the 100th tiger is going to come and kill you. Now this is another clause that comes in. Okay. So the king naturally is very angry. The young king is very angry, and he says, but what if that 100th tiger also is killed by me? And the astrologer says, if my foretelling doesn't come true, I will just stop being an astrologer. I'll I'll cut my hair and become an insurance agent or something like that, and I will not even pursue doing this work again. Okay, so this is one scene where how strong the astrologer is and why people believe in these kind of superstitions that are told. Okay, so you will see the story how it progresses, how the king slowly he starts killing tigers. Okay, and he keeps clicking pics and making big cutouts of it and putting it and feeling proud about it. And in between there is a wonderful story of a British officer who comes, high ranking British officer who comes. He says, doesn't matter you kill the tiger, but at least I will stand with it and take a photo. Even that he doesn't allow. He is very unhappy, and so the British officer is quite angry. And why are you not even allowing a photo with a tiger that has been killed? But so everyone wants to show I am great. I mean, look at that. The way the king wants to be great, that he killed the tiger, and the British officer who comes in wants to click a pic with the dead tigers to show that he's the one who has been hunting. And so everyone, look at the pride that they are looking for, look at the arrogance, look at the way they're using power. So here you will see how this king, because he did not agree to what the British officer said and did not allow him to click a pig. He's afraid that his kingdom will be taken over by the British, or he will be, he will have to go through something. So what does he do instead? Now that is a very interesting part. What he does, he just is afraid of losing the kingdom. So he sends all expensive diamond rings, samples of rings he orders from Kolkata is supposed to be famous for the jewelry making and fineries. So he gets it ordered and then he sends all of them to the queen, thinking that, I mean, to the British officer's wife, thinking that she will pick up one or two, maybe whatever she likes, and will return the rest. But what happens that British officer's wife keeps everything, doesn't return anything at all. Okay, this was a great loss to the kingdom. Imagine, it is quoted here as 3 lakh rupees. In those days, 3 lakhs meant today's crore. Of course, today's value of money is different. In those days, 3 lakhs was so much, an entire kingdom that could not afford that kind of money it was. But this Maharaja did not even bother. He just, somehow wanted to retain the kingdom, so he didn't mind giving even that. So some only to retain his seat, his throne as the Maharaja was important to him. So within 10 years, he went on killing around 75 tigers are killed over. Okay. Alright. So finally there came a day, naturally, if he has killed 75 tigers in his kingdom, where will the tigers be? So there comes a day when there are no tigers, and then he, the author brings in this wonderful question. You can see here in this page, if you are following here. Now, who knows whether the tigers practice birth control or committed harakiri? What is harakiri? It's a ritual, a suicide committed. Okay. Uh, so did they? How did they all die? Naturally, you have killed all of them. The king has killed all. So how will you find any more? So finally, they, you know, find a different purpose. Now here again, there is a nice, interesting incident that happens. The king is young, so he has to get married, and the divan gives an idea. You get married, so you will go to that kingdom, his wife's kingdom also, and you can kill tigers. You will find more tigers over there. Just look at the way, how one can think of marriage. You know, marriage for convenience, just to fulfill my own. So that is what here the king does. He wants to marry not because he wants to, he is falling in love, or really he wants someone in his life. He really, nothing. He wants a life partner, nothing. Here it's just about getting more tigers so that he can save his own life, so that he can go to his wife's kingdom. So how do they look at the criteria, or what they use to really find a wife for him? Go around asking all the kingdoms which kingdom has the maximum number of tigers, and that the girl from that place only, the princess of that place only will marry him, so that he will get a number of tigers to kill, so that he will live forever. So they drop statistics. You can see here marked in yellow over here, this whole thing, where the population of tigers of all the places in the native states and around, and they find a place with the largest tiger population, and then 99 tigers. After this happens, he goes and kills more tigers. 99 tigers adorn the walls of the Pratibambapuram palace. So this is the way the Maharaja. Then later you will see how he is still now looking for one tiger. That one tiger, one more tiger, that dreadful one which is going to actually kill him according to the astrologer. He is looking for that, and so you will see here what all steps he takes next. He increases the taxes, he punishes the people, he tells the people if they find him a tiger, he will give them some extra gift, and so on, so on. So this goes on. Alright, and the Maharaja becomes so angry, and he is not able to find a tiger and things like that. So finally, the people, they want to escape. What does the Diwan do along with his wife? They go to Madras. Okay, and from there, from the people's park and somewhere, they kept a tiger hidden. He puts it in his car, brings it to the place, their own kingdom, Pratibandhapuram, and just lets it out of the car. The tiger is used to being only in the zoo, and this tiger, they had to simply push the tiger out of the car to make him come out into the forest area, and showed it to the king like as though they have found a tiger in the forest here and it is roaming around, and that he is going to kill it. Now here also what happens when the king actually comes to kill, you will see when the king actually comes to kill, he misses, even standing near the tiger is so afraid and just lying down, and he misses just by an inch through the ear, brushes off. So when the king feels, wow, I've killed the tiger, and he leaves, but the people around, the hunters and others, find that he has actually not killed the tiger. Now, so how do they kill the tiger? They just go near the tiger and actually put a bullet in and kill the tiger, and make the king believe that he has killed the tiger. They carry this tiger, the 100th tiger that he has killed, which actually he has not killed, in a procession and all, and they celebrate. So if you look at all the people who are working under the king, be it the divan who cheats him by bringing a tiger from the zoo, or the hunters who, when they know that the king has not killed the tiger, instead of telling him the truth that yes, you have not killed the tiger, please kill it properly, they only kill it and claim that the king has killed. So this is the way, how insincere, no? Not loyal at all they are to the king. And this brings actually the end to the king. If you look at what happens when there's one more character you will see here, again to show this kind of insincerity, or in a way, the shopkeeper. Now what happens, the king has a son who is just 3 years old, his third birthday, and yeah, he wants to gift something to the son, so he goes to the shop, he wants to buy, where the craftsman had made one, the carpenter had made a tiger, a wooden toy tiger, and the king thinks this is the perfect toy, and he takes it. Now while buying the toy, actually it is not some great craftsmanship or anything. It is just an ordinary which cost actually very less, 2 annas and a quarter, you can see here it's mentioned. But the shopkeeper, because king came, he thought this is the chance, no, I can get a lot of money, and he says 300 rupees, and the king also pays him thinking it's great. But since it did not have a good finish at all, the toy tiger, so a little bit of a sliver from the tiger, the wood was slightly chipped off, and that's called the sliver. You can see here the sliver, and so it kept coming off, and that hurt his finger. Okay, and while playing with his son, the birthday and all was over and done, the toy was there, and when they were playing, a slight sliver or one chipped off part of the little wood, that a small part of it gets into his finger. It hurts him a lot. It swells up. It becomes infected. And a suppurating sore. You can see the word here, suppurating sore. What happens, and with the yellow pus and all that, it forms and gives a trouble to him. Okay, so yeah, you can see what happens to the king. It becomes so very difficult that they had to call surgeons from other places and all to serve, to operate on him. And what is it? The last line: the operation was successful. Maharaja is dead. No? So what does this show? The irony, first of all, here you mark out even the irony. The irony is that all the 99 tigers he killed was actual tigers living in the forest. The 100th tiger that killed him was just a toy tiger, wooden toy tiger. Okay, so this is the irony. And the next thing is here, the operation was successful, the Maharaja is dead. So, what was the whole operation? The astrologer said that the 100th tiger will kill the Maharaja. So, this operation, that from his birth he will live, he will kill 99 tigers successfully, and the 100th tiger will kill him. It came true and he is dead. The operation is successful. Okay, so the 100th tiger took its final revenge. Look at the last line in the story. It's beautiful because when you don't do good and you have been killing all the tigers around, so the death also for the king had to come through the tiger. Okay, so this is the text. Now, if you look at the questions very quickly, these are all long answers, these questions, and they can easily come for your 5 marks long answer. So 150 words answers, it can be value based or even with reference to the text. Here the very first question, the story is a satire of the, on the conceit of those in power. We spoke about it at the beginning. So the 100th, or the wooden tiger that killed him. So the whole irony is that, okay, and of course the conceit of those in power here is the king, how he misused his power, did not care about his empire, his kingdom, did not bother about the people who are living there, only bothered about himself, that he has to live, and not bother about animals also, killing them and being rude to the people around him. So the next question here, you can see what is the author's indirect comment on the subjecting innocent animals. And it talks of saving animals. Here the topic, of course, especially tigers. For us Indians, tigers are important because tiger is our national animal. Therefore, the author maybe has taken this, tiger as the animal in the story. And then here we have the next question: how would you describe the behavior of the Maharaja's minions towards him? Do you find them truly sincere? No, not at all. We saw how they are all cheating, right? So here it's the astrologer, okay, then the shopkeeper who cheated him by selling a 2 anna's toy at the rate of 300 rupees, and the divan who brought a tiger from the zoo. So the insincerity with all of them have been doing that. Okay. Next, you can see here, can you relate the instances here? This is just a general. So you can give some examples of poaching happening in our country. You can get that from the news, where people without, illegally try to get seahorses, or even crocodiles, snakes, these, because our country has plenty of these, whether it's crocodiles or alligators, or whether it is seahorses, or whether it is, these are some of the examples that I'm trying to give you of how poaching happens. Or even deer we have in plenty. That doesn't mean we can kill them. They are all treasures of our country. They have to be conserved. Okay, so here we have the new system of ecology, a system which is embedded in the care of all people and also in the care of earth and all life upon it. It's a wonderful topic to discuss on. Degradation of environment. We are all responsible for it. The way we have we are using technology, with the way we are using in the name of modernization, the way we are polluting air, water, land, everywhere, global, resulting in global warming. Okay, that is also a topic. I'm sure you're touching on these topics in your other subjects as well while learning, and all of you hear a lot about it, how global warming is in turn affecting us. The rise in temperatures and global temperatures, the melting of the snow-capped mountains across the world, the rising of sea level, because of that, the depleting coastlines, and animals becoming extinct because of this, and causing a lot of imbalance to our lives. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this. We will. So this is the takeaway in the lesson, the important things that we have to look at. One is the Indian Prince in British India, rich, enjoying all the privileges, okay, being selfish, all right, thinking only about himself. Then the astrologer's prophecy. Now, the belief in superstitions, and how till date, how educated we are, we keep thinking of that. Then hunting. Hunting, there are very strong laws in place, very stringent rules. Hunting is officially not allowed, but the rich have been hunting all over, and that is one of the reasons why many animals became extinct in our country. The request of the British officer. See, he also takes advantage because of his position. How he asks for a favor, of course, which is not granted to him. Then new laws which have come in. Think of the new laws that are in place to serve, to be good to animals, to be kind to them, to make place for them. So creating more forests and not going to deforestation. So marriage, the way we look at marriage, of course, today many changes have come in modern society, the way people look at marriage. But there was a time when people were just getting married for convenience. They would look for caste, they would look for how rich the girl is, how much they can give, or how beautiful the girl is, and the whole thing about complexion. So many things that people were going in for, and not look at the actual reason why I want to marry this person. Why should I ever marry, first of all? So if I'm marrying, there should be a reason, good reason, and whom I'm marrying and why. So there's no love in this marriage. There is only, so if you look at the way here in the story, marrying because he wants more tigers, I mean, to hunt more tigers. So the the divan, the way the king threatens, nothing happens by threatening. So here the way he threatens and gets things, and then the divan in turn cheating him. Okay, the no loyalty seen, no sincerity, no integrity, all these qualities that we look for as life skills, and talk about good values. So the coming of the toy tiger as the hunted tiger that kills him, the irony. Okay, so these are the main incidents in the story. Keep them in mind. So this is an important part of your learning actually, the satire and the story. What is the satire and the story? The name and the title itself, where we are saying the Tiger King like as though he is great while putting down his actual actions. So the name and the title, calling him a Maharaja of a kingdom, all right. Actually, what he is doing is the opposite. He's not doing any good. So the name and the title itself, the Tiger King. It can come as a 2 marks question. It can come as a long answer also. You can do it with these points. So astrology, the belief in astrology, the superstitious beliefs of people in general, where we are talking about the astrologer. Then everything English, the craze of Indians in general, how we always want everything in English, English looking up to, all right, and treating the English speaking crowd as elite crowd. So this is one, not feeling pride in our own language. Okay, then the 50 diamond rings that is sent to the British officer's wife. just to cover up, just because he wants to hold on to his position as the king. He doesn't mind losing a whole lot of 3 lakh rupees worth of 50 diamond rings, and he still sends it. And look at the greed of the British officer's wife also. She just keeps all. She doesn't just choose one or two and just return. No, she is also the same, keeping away the greed, selfishness, greed, all these qualities in human beings which is actually ruining the world. Then marriage, the reason. I think we have discussed enough on this. And laws implemented, the misuse of power. The king goes on, levying extra taxes, arresting people and putting them in just because they're not able to find him a tiger, okay, or gifting people lots because they found him a tiger. So either ways, the way he has been, misusing power. Then story of the 100th tiger. Okay, this is also very interesting. The story of the 100th tiger, which is a toy tiger, and how punishment comes to the king. The punishment that he actually deserves for killing all those tigers mercilessly. And the insincerity of all those minions, right from buying the toy tiger from the shopkeeper who cheats the king, the divan who cheats the king, the divan or the minister who cheats the king by just getting a tiger from the zoo and making him believe that he found it in the forest, and how he dies of a tiny sliver hurting his right hand. This is the irony. So hope you have understood the lesson very well, and you will be able to answer all the questions based from this lesson. Okay, so keep learning a lot more, and you can always come back with your comments, with your doubts, with your queries, okay, by either sending me a mail, or you can also contact me on this phone number which is flashing on the screen. Hope you enjoyed this lesson, and if there's anything that any kind of help to learn English, please do contact me. Thank you very much. Enjoy learning.